So, hi guys, this is Vineet Pandey, and today we're going to talk about Plato's cave theory, theory of mimesis, and other things. So, in my previous lecture, when I told you about that, Plato was technically he was against the poets from Ideal Republic. He said that poets should be banished from Ideal Republic. Why did he say so? What was the reason that Plato was against a musical instrument called flute? What are the reasons that Plato is one of the first idealist characters, the one who didn't like the sophisticated nature of poetry, the feminine attitude of poetry? So I tell you this thing that the first concept is the theory of imitation, also called Plato's theory of mimesis. Plato is of the view that was of the view that whatever the world we have in front of us, the materialistic things, nature, everything is imitated. So when we look at the world for the inspiration, we are looking at something which is already imitated and deriving the inspiration from something which is already imitated. It makes the inspiration itself imitated, and then when you are inspired by the fake imitation, imitated inspiration, your tasks, your deeds, your jobs becomes fake and the far away from reality. So I make it very easy for you all. So tell me this: who created the world? God, right? God created the world. In every religion, we know that. So when God, suppose God is someone like me, and is planning to create the world, he must have had some idea in the brain to create the world, right? Like all of a sudden he woke up and he did something like this, it became the world. No, he must have had some idea in the brain to create the world. How did he get that idea? God must have imagined something, he must have seen something to be inspired. So let's make it easy. God he looked at heaven and got inspired to create a copy of heaven. So when he looked at heaven, heaven can be taken as the first reality. Then idea, looking at the heaven and having the idea in the brain. So the idea is the copy, because when he looked at the heaven, he got the idea. Idea became the first copy. So when idea was there to create the earth, he executed the idea using his mind, knowledge, willpower, and everything extraneous affairs to that idea. So when idea was executed in the world, it became second imitation. So the first imitation is the idea, second imitation is the world. Now when we people are the poets living in the world, which is already an imitation, the result of God's imitated idea, whatever the inspiration we take from the world is fake. Now we take it to the poet. What makes you a poet? Many of you are poetic people, many of you have poetic hearts and poetic brain. So what makes you a poet? You go to some place and you find the beauty of nature, or you're emotional, you look at something and you have inspiration. So inspiration comes to you in your brain. So let's imagine in the world, let's remove the idea of God, just take it yourself as a poet. You are the poet. So you are in Missouri and you're looking at the beautiful nature, mountains, valleys. Suppose the mountain, the valley, it is the reality, it is the original thing, but it inspired you. The idea came in your mind. That idea is imitation. Now that imitated idea will be executed by you in when you pen down the things, you'll write down it, you'll use literary devices, you'll use grammatical skills, the intonation, invocation, everything. So that idea mixed up with your literary talent will be penned down, and that will become twice removed from reality. So Plato was of the view that poetry is twice removed from reality. It is far away from the exact reality of the world. That is the reason that poetry should be banned from Ideal Republic. Here Plato has given certain examples of bed, table and chair, how the first bed was created, then imitated the carpenter's role, this and that. Apart from these things, Plato targeted the concept of education also. In his book Republic, he talks about cave theory. Here, I'll send you a photograph of the cave theory. We imagine that there are 5 to 6 people are sitting in a row like this. They are facing to the cave. Cave has a dead end, so they cannot turn back. They are forced to look at the end of the cave. Now what happens here? They have a fire burning behind, but as because they are tied with a rope or they are chained, they cannot turn back. They cannot see the reality at backside. All they can do is they are looking at the cave's dead end. Now there is a fire, and the reflection of the fire is at the dead end of the wall, and they see that that is the fire, that is the reality, that is the light. Now what happens? A dog passes by, a peacock passes by, and the shadow of the passing dog or the peacock appears on the wall with the reflection of the light. So one of them says, see, look at the dog is black. Another says, yes, the peacock is also black. But they cannot see the reality. Why? Because all they can see is reflected images. So what they are doing is they are trusting on something which is already imitated. Plato says that these people, they are bound by a chain, tied by a chain. That is the chain of human relations, materialistic pleasures. We are involved in materialistic life. Plato says one of them breaks the chain. He neglects and ignores the materialistic pleasure, the human relations. He breaks the chain, turns back, and looks the fire behind them. And then he runs back to them and says that, guys, this is the fake world. I have seen the real fire. But the other says that you are a fool. We can see the real light. This is the world, the materialistic pleasure. Plato says that the one person, the one who broke the chain and turned around to see the real light, is the fool, and the whole world calls him fool. Why so? Because for the others, those who have the life involved in materialistic world, they simply call him the fool. But actually, that fool is the philosopher. Now I'm giving you a very unique point. Plato inspired Shakespearean fools. All of Shakespearean fools are fools by names, not by words. Not even a single fool in Shakespeare talks stupid. They have great messages inside. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rupen. This was an experiment. Thank you.